Of course, we're here for the True Friend series. My name is Raven Amani, and I have a very, 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 very special guest for this chat today, Mr. Warren Bailey. But we know him as Ensom Vibes Warren. Yes, we've been brethren and sistering for a good minute, more than a minute.
Yes,
No. And of course, every now and again we have one of them reasonings there, where we can talk about life experiences and empower each other, which is what this series is about, right? So based on our previous chat, Warren, we're gonna jump right into it. No
yes,
itchings this morning. We were talking about good people.
yes.
Yes. And of course, my brand new release, True Friend. And I said to you that when I do music now, it's because I want to start conversations. I want to have conversations around our experiences as humans and how we can learn from each other and grow and empower each other, right?
Definitely so.
Right. So we had the chat and you told me about your true friend. You say you have true friends, right? And let me tell you, before I go any further, if you want to know why we say Ensom vibes, it's because when you say Spanish town, you say Warren. When you say St. Diego, you say Warren. You say Warren, right? And he'll be celebrating his 60th birthday. Maybe say that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We're not back age paper either. We're not back
Yeah,
age
but
paper.
good. Yeah, but good.
Yeah, man.
Yes, his 60th birthday in a little while, and it's gonna be a true friend link up from the sound of it, right? So he's
Definitely so.
perfect, perfect for this chat this morning. With when we're talking about people doing things for people from the goodness and kindness of them heart, not because them looking for something in return necessarily, but because them is just good people, right?
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
all the while we hear about the not so good people, right? We hear about them all the while. But we still have good people among us. And so, Warren, jump right in and tell us your true friend story.
Well, I thought Raven was on the true friend until we realized she never sent me the outfit. Boy, you look good. You always look good, Not only for me, but for others. But a true friend means that they are time tested. That's what it means. And first off, you have to be a friend to yourself. Okay? A lot of people think because let me put my neck on the gallows and give everything to everybody and they will if they will love me and I will be a true friend to them. That is a transaction. Okay? The other type of um impairment, I call it an impairment, is you have to know that your true friend over time will tell you true things about yourself that other people who just want to be a friend or to be into your vortex, they will want to tell you because that is also an emotional transaction. Let me not tell Raven say this, that, or the other because I just want, be around, I want to be close, I want to sail close to the sun and stuff. And especially when you're in the music business, there is a lot of friendships that come up through the production of music, but you still have to sift through and see if that is
Yes,
person is a true friend or if it's just a production.
yes.
So and I have a myriad of day-to-day examples of what is a true friend. And if you would indulge me, I want to just
Please.
talk. I just want to talk from the heart. I was born 3.5 months premature, and I landed up. I was paralyzed for the first. I was unable to walk, put it that way, for the first 4 or 5 or 6 years of my life. And I didn't have natural friends because I wasn't going out into and playing in the neighborhood. So I ended up at Mona Rehab. And if anybody knows Sylvia Grant, that represents Jamaica at the highest level, she was there. She lived there for a long time until she moved off into a special location. And Sylvia has always been there for me when I couldn't defend myself at the hospital because it get kind of rough and stuff. And she didn't want anything. She just said, leave him alone, let him acclimatize. And every year I went back for a different procedure. She would say, you okay now? You're doing it, blah, blah, blah. When she saw me with my daughter, was 7 at the time, 20 years ago, she said, oh, you made it. And she
Yeah.
was so happy for me. So, and she's somebody of very humble means, right? And that why I tell you that story is that a lot of times you have friends through the ages, and when you make it, it turn round a one part,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And then now you question that 35 years of friendship, is it really real? You know what I mean? So it
Mhm.
has to be a reciprocal, consistent thing to be a good friend. You know what I
That's right.
mean?
That's
Um,
right.
I also recall when a certain TV production was just a thought. And
Mhm.
I got a call from somebody and you were very vulnerable at the time, and I sensed that. And you told me the a kernel of your idea.
Mhm.
And you know being a friend, you don't have to understand everything to on a technical level to be a friend, because I
Right.
did not understand the vision you had entirely, but purely
Mhm.
out of friendship. You need those people who, even if they're not technocrats or they
Right.
are not in the business to that deep extent, you need a friend in the business that don't come and just pick at everything, right? Pick at everything
Right.
and
Right.
down your vision,
That's
right?
so true. That's so true because that stifle a lot of great ideas.
Right.
You carry it to somebody and then just throw one wet blanket over it.
Exactly.
But I got that a lot too in the start, in the beginning of things. Just people are telling me say, you know make no name for yourself yet. You can't do that. You're not the one to do that. Give that to somebody else. Of course,
Yes.
I'm sure there are many more people who are more capable and whatever else have more resources than I do. But there's a
Yeah.
reason why the Almighty did bestow that thought, that
Exactly.
idea on me. So
Exactly.
me always grateful for the people like yourself who never did dash cold water upon it
Yes.
and feed it, nourish
Right.
me and the thought. Right. So
Yeah.
I'm always grateful for that. So of course you touch on it. Transactional friendship. I have here is where the relationship is built on expectation of reciprocal benefit rather than genuine emotional connection and mutual support.
Exactly.
Man, let me tell you, you see the emotional and genuine connection. I think it takes time, as I said, time tested and proven to really develop things. Social media kind of have it kind of warped where people just scroll. and they might see something that them like, and then just click on something, and then it say we are now friends.
Right.
But it's really not so it go in real life,
Another,
right?
yes, and kind of feel like talking to a lot of. I got a lot of my mapping, my blueprinting of friendship from my parents. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times it's a social disease in terms of the transactional nature, because if and when you have common values with people, you can kind of feel like they have similar lifestyle experiences, right? Say,
Right.
for instance, 7 o'clock, the doorbell ring, or somebody knock on the door, and your mother and parents never expect that person. When that person comes in, after you greet and say introduce your kids and stuff,
Mhm.
you have palatable conversations, right? So it's,
Right.
and you don't you're not you have this thing where we have to all perform for these people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so the environment around friendships were, in back in the day, it used to be more family friendly. Whereas
Right.
now I find people saying, go big people attack. You will have
Yes.
that still when liquor run and liquor later when they rub around,
Right.
right? But
Right.
I noticed that the children don't have that baseline understanding. All they
Mm-hmm.
have is, boy, I'm like cut off, call my friend over JPS there,
Right.
right? I'm
Right.
link. Or go to the bank and you look for that. It might be a true friend, but some people can have a true friend and still lurk off into some
Yeah.
transaction, right?
Yeah. Right. Because life come at we hard enough time,
They may
Life
not.
come at
Yeah,
us hard.
it come at
And
us hard,
sometimes,
and we have to use the friends that are in places of
right.
influence and thing, but we have to manage it. I didn't know that I
Yes.
had to join a bank line until I came to the United States. Cause me
Right.
and Ensom vibes from me a 9 year old. You
Mm-hmm.
understand me? So
Yeah.
so whenever I go anywhere, I have a physical impairment. So mix that into the sorry for and the
Yeah.
different emotions that people have. That was normal, to a certain
Yeah.
extent. And so
Mm-hmm.
people always want to do things for you. So you end up living this life of who can do this for me. And
Yes.
you
Yes.
abuse friendships sometimes
Yes. Like
based
that.
on that. And
Yes.
like people will say, why you not call Raven and ask her? I said, I don't, is my friend. I don't
Mm-hmm.
do those things, right?
Yeah.
No,
Mm-hmm.
if it is on a scale and it is beneficial to my friend, I will say this hand into that hand and so on. And
Right.
it
Right.
done right. That's because that is synonymous with who you are as a person
Right.
or the
Right.
scale at which you're doing things. But for that come to you like ticky ticky and a weird, and then after that it cannot be reciprocal because they're getting 9 and you're getting 2.
Right. So there is a space. There is a space for things to be transactional. But as I say, manage it. Manage it so it not get one-sided, right? Where you just a give all live long day and you're not being replenished. So it's always good to be keen about it not being you're not going overboard. And that mash up no friendship, right?
Exactly.
Match up no friendship. And no friendship that could blossom into such beautiful, beautiful thing. Just go by the wayside because one person just always find himself in a something where we always appear lean, and we're not providing the same for the other person.
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I'll
So
give you, yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask you, what are some of the qualities in a friend that is most important to you?
What is important is not the frequency of the interaction, but the consistency of what happens when you're with that person. And
Mm.
I say that because migration has diluted a lot of the physical interactions that people have had um, at a higher level. Technology has given us social distancing in a realm that we see each other, we hear each other, we convince each other, say that thing. So if you're not going to call somebody with a wholesome purpose, focus on the healthiness of
Right.
what you're calling them about. I'll give
Wow.
you an example. You have some good friends, not true friend, good
Mhm.
friends, right?
Yes.
'Cause
Make the
let us,
distinction. What's the
yeah,
difference
well,
between good and
the song itself
yeah.
says it all, right? But
Yeah.
it centers my mind on the variances between acquaintance, friend of a friend, associates, good friend, and then true friend, where we call besties and so on, your little
Yeah.
clique.
Yes.
I
Yes.
know
Mm-hmm.
roughly about 3,400 people. And
Mm-hmm.
in my inner circle, it's about it's about 50. So if you don't have that sense of determining who is what, if you call everybody a true friend, or if you call everybody a friend that is an acquaintance or a friend of a
Yes.
friend, you're going to be in trouble.
You're gonna end up in all kind of with all kind of mental issues.
Yes, and the way
Yeah.
you manage that is by using the terminology. Don't be, I learned this from my father. Somebody will say, Herb McKinley? And he'll say, him know him, But in the realm of friend, my
Mm-hmm.
father would say, yes, we're acquainted, or he's not really a friend, he's a friend of a friend. But
Right.
we are acquainted. So then
Yeah.
instead of me transact through you, me I go transact through somebody else because you gave me that
Yeah.
determination that look here, nobody expect, nobody go talk, say me and them money, I know big friend, cause me no want hear say me a
Right.
this or me a that and whatever, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so we have to practice differentiating, all right?
Yes.
I forgot
Yes.
what the question was because I was,
No,
but
it was basically what is your most important quality in a friend? The
in a
most important.
friendship is the consistency of what you talk about. If when you're talking to them, you're always hearing about other people
Mm-hmm.
or something negative, right? That's not a friend that just come to you with the bolo slush negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's a friend and you say to them, but you know, Rosie, you're kind of negative one way lately, That is a
Yes.
true friend.
Yes.
I mean, not
Mm-hmm.
like it. And say me not, I'm not a person where mix up nobody have my name in their mouth. And me no
Yes.
want you constantly lately when we're talking, you
Mm-hmm.
are them subject here we have talk about and it not right. That is a true. If the person repel, that's not a true
Yes.
friend.
Your friend.
So you have
Right.
to be consistent and you have to be, it's a reciprocity have to also come into play
Mm-hmm.
because that
Very,
person should
very
be able to
important.
do the same thing to you if
Yes.
you are thinking you can come to me with the problem, but every time if you come to me with the problem, then
Right?
what you do with the advice when me I give,
Deal. The
right?
same thing I said last in our last chat with my son. We were talking about a long suffering friend versus the true friend.
Yes.
Where I feel like a lot of us think that as long as we can ride or die, that and to the level of which we can suffer with you, that determine the type of friend. But I don't think so. I think it's when you can hold up the mirror and say, no man, check up yourself, man. That what you're doing is not,
Right.
but you're not helping you. Let's do something else. Let's try this. Let's do so.
Yeah, is
That to me.
yes, a friend in general is a gift that you give to yourself. You won't hear it anywhere else but from me, because I me make it up. But is a gift. If you look at the
Trademark it.
friendship as okay, me go gift myself this
Mm-hmm.
relationship with this person as a friend. That mean you not give out no gift no only for no way where it dilute what the friendship is now, because if everybody are your real friend,
Mm-hmm.
then nobody is your friend.
Right? I'm glad you touch on that. It just cannot be everybody's friend. It don't work like that. No matter if he was Jesus. I'm just saying.
Yes, I have
you
had
know.
friends. I had friends from people and true friends from people that I didn't initially like.
Mm-hmm.
But over time, I've come to regard them more than the person I meet them through. You ever meet somebody through
Yeah.
somebody and the person will introduce you, them pop
Yeah.
down
They
wrong
were
on
just a
one,
conduit.
yeah, them pop
They
down
were
wrong
just a
on one
conduit.
part,
It was supposed to happen like that. Mhm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And stuff. And a lot of times as creatives are very vulnerable,
Yes.
right? And creatives are very vulnerable. You have not said it, but I know for a fact that not every connect that was done by a friend in your life, Peter, landed where it should have landed.
Mm-mm. No. Out of the way is where I'll be, only connecting on a higher frequency. Yeah.
Exactly.
Have to protect your energy. Yes,
Oh,
as
and
a creative.
as a
Yeah.
true friend, I have to bring up something. You you had a song that pertained to something about this is not for TV. And you end up on TV. So I
But
want
I saw me know he's a true friend, I saw me know he's a true friend. You pass the test, where your time tested. You pass it. Because that song there, say just before the chat, so I came across that song.
yes.
I was going through some things. I missed about your weight, yeah. That song, yeah. Not
Yo,
made for
okay,
TV.
let me show you the true friend side. You want to see the true friend side?
But, no, man. Yes. That
Yes.
is it. We can wrap the conversation right here. No, solid, 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 solid. Let me
Yes.
tell you. Because Peter, who is recording this for us, who is
Yes.
editing for us, so big up to Peter.
Yeah,
I bet
man.
him don't know that tune. And me and Peter are a long time now, and him don't know enough of the tune them. Don't it? Him can't answer, but believe me, him don't know them.
All right.
But yes.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I remember calling you one time and say, "Me want some jingles off of that song, yeah." And you say, "Which other song?" Me said, "No, man, man, that song." And you say, say, I give me some energy. And me I call you for the jingles for my radio, but at the same time, me could have pick out any song, but you know, I felt a certain set of songs meant more than others and
Yeah.
whatever and stuff. And as creatives, we now have to look on the YouTube to see how much views for say music good. Our friend
Yes.
where I do a good thing, the other people them run on one part where I click on something else. Good to all on, but my friend me I support. You understand me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
when
Yes.
I look for the yeah, cause me know say you rich and not talk still, but at the end,
Well, rich in spirits and creativity.
yes, yes, and I'm saying it publicly.
Mhm.
When you come, if you ever come to Los Angeles, say your room is right here. Me and Sharon will. Definitely roll out the red carpet.
All right, so we not edit out the part there. That
No, we're
part
not
is good.
editing
Right
out that
there, we have
part.
evidence, people. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
man.
we,
And same, likewise, when you forward, say, him forward him soon and the link up after happen. We've never met in person, in the flesh, and we've been doing this for many
yes,
a moon. But
yes,
yes,
yes.
it's,
We're great
it's
pen
gonna
pals,
happen.
digital pen pals. So,
Yeah.
don't feel like you have to get something physical out of you don't have to be around the person um, you know, at your convenience. Because a lot of times I travel is in your busy season. And a lot
Yeah.
of times when I come and you say, "Oh, just go prone." So if I come, and say, me say, I go. She said, "No, me no bother go, cause me know say I wasn't going to be there." So, but what I'm saying is, we have to have some consistency, some responsibility, some reciprocity, and one thing that a true friend has to do, they cannot be entirely transparent because sometimes you know some things about a person that
Mm-hmm.
you are not, it is not for you to say. There's a limit. You understand me? Okay, so if I know that you take off too much weight and you don't look right, me I go say to you, the last time I saw you, you look drastically
Yes,
different,
there are ways to
right?
say things.
Right? However,
Yes.
if I see you and it's drastically the other way, right? Me just hug you
Mhm.
and go on. Me
Yeah.
not gonna talk about it. If you not look unhealthy, it's not my thing for just arbitrarily just bring up things, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because you're doing things from a real and true, authentic, pure place. There's no there's no tinge of animosity or jealousy or grudge or anything
Yeah.
supposed to in there. It's supposed to be always coming from a pure, genuine place, right?
Yes. And
So,
also, no, I mean for cut you. A lot of things, if you're void of the expertise, if you find that you have a friend and they're going through something psychiatric, refer them,
mhm,
right? Or if it's a
yeah,
legal matter, you have a lawyer.
yeah,
Some people know them want to be a friend. Yeah, man. Send him one letter. Make him know. Call him boss.
yeah,
And all those
yeah,
things. And you have to say no.
yeah,
Get an attorney. Be careful. Me no know if you're in the right. In
yeah,
a this situation, I'm not a lawyer. I have my own feelings, but get a lawyer.
yeah, yeah.
Because some friends we just agree. You see, if you're a true friend, you can't agree all the time.
No, mm-mm,
You
not
cannot.
possible.
But if you're because it can turn into a transactional thing
Hmm.
because you have make a business decision now. Say, she do this and that for me, so I'm gonna just make it pass. You can't do that.
No.
You can't
Yes,
do that.
and stuff like that. It's plaguing a lot of our businesses and institutions here, but we not get the best out of things. I mean, we don't want to go on going to it, but I'll touch my
No, we
strap.
can't go
Right.
into it because even right now in the space.
In
w-
yeah.
we see where people did things, and when me I talk, the biggest thing in the industry right now in that's going on in Jamaica, two people that
Mm-hmm.
share a bond, right, and share an industry and have done parallel things to feel say, okay, me and you can work together. And when things start lift up now, one man go around at one part and say,
But,
me I go
mhm,
pull out the plug. Right? You cannot
yes.
and you know that the only reason why it leak off into into being thing is because there was an assumption.